Good evening and welcome to the Boardroom. The Boardroom was created when John Brown and I were watching the Shark Tank one day, got together and thought, you know, the Shark Tank is really entertaining, but wouldn't it be great to have a business educational program that people can come and really learn about business? And that's why we started the Boardroom, and our logo says, think Shark Tank with shark crossed out, and it's really a think tank. So people come and they present their businesses here. We give advice. We go in 3 rounds. So the presenter will have 15 minutes to present, and you have a nice clock there to tell you. Then the panelists will ask questions for 15 minutes, and panelists, be sure you separate the two. The first section is questions, no advice. Then the third section is advice, and please don't ask any questions during that period. During the advice section, you're not allowed to talk, and that can be very, very, very difficult. So it's those 3 15-minute rounds. Now, one of the best parts that we do here is the next part. After the panelist gives their advice, we go to the audience for advice. That's where Matt was talking to you about making sure the microphone's in your face. So make sure you have a microphone when it's your time to give advice. Please speak up. Love to hear from you. Some of the best advice comes from the audience. And if you haven't read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, this is really a mastermind. You're getting a lot of people together, a lot of smart people with a lot of different ideas, and that sparks other ideas in other people. So please feel free to speak and give advice. Just make sure the microphone's in your mouth when you're talking. No questions from the audience, though, please. At this point, it's just advice time. After that, you'll have 2 or 3 minutes left to talk about any of the advice that you were given and rebut it or answer any of the things that you want to out of that. Afterwards, for those of you here that are live, we stay and we network. Sometimes it's gone on till 2 a.m. in the morning, and I just can't do that anymore. So around about 10:30, I get tired and the music goes down, and then the lights go down, and all of a sudden you find yourself sitting in the dark, and that's the point where that tells you to probably go home. So again, welcome to the Boardroom. My name's Charles Horton. I've been a serial entrepreneur all my life. I did check cashing in flea markets when I was young, did the lawn mowing thing with hundreds of employees, learned that I wasn't wanting to mow that many lawns and wanted to do easier things, so moved into the check cashing. Then I owned the 8th largest check verification guarantee company in the country. Took that till almost 2000 when the thing started to check writing started to turn, and less people stopped writing checks, so I got out of it at a good time. Thought I was retiring for life at that point. That lasted about 6 months, and I learned that I got really depressed. I was day trading. I was taking pills. I wasn't happy at all because I traded my 150-person passion, my company. That was my passion, and I turned it into a pile of money that wasn't very wasn't very good for me socially. Found myself at a Tony Robbins seminar. Learned that we all have to have passion in our lives. Started my next company and continue to start companies. In case I sell one, I want others to keep going. So that's kind of my background. A big passion of mine is helping other people succeed. I probably have at least 2 or 3 lunches a week with people that come here that want to talk about their businesses, that want advice. I love doing that. I see many of you that I've already done that with, and if you want that, I'm always happy to go have lunch with you. It's just $100,000. Just kidding, just kidding. But a couple of things, speaking of passion, I wanted to talk about. It's coming up next month, and that is one of my big charities that I support is the Night of Superstars. And let me show you a little video on that before I tell you any more about it. Did I go too far, Matt? Or maybe we won't have a video. Doesn't look like we have the video. So really quickly, the Night of Superstars is a fantastic organization that takes special
needs.
Thanks
so much.
Okay,
Greg
here
Johnson
it is.
Showcases superstars, but he's not a talent agent, and you won't find the superstars in the movies. They're local children finding joy in adversity, and that's why Greg Johnson is this week's Texan with Character. Greg Johnson started Night of Superstars in 2005 to recognize kids who are affected from varying types of conditions.
Most of these kids, they face more adversity in the first 10 minutes of their day than most of us do in 2 to 3 weeks. Yet they continue to achieve.
Caitlin Perry was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia last July, and throughout her treatments, she's remained positive and strong.
We're going to have probably about 700 people there asking for your autographs, your pictures,
gosh.
more TV interviews.
Gosh.
21 superstars spent the day being pampered with hair, makeup, wardrobe, and a limo ride. Then they're escorted by local guest celebrities down the red carpet. Greg realized how that positive attitude played a much larger role.
I think the event now is more for our guests to help them find their joy. These kids have, like I said, have gone through so much, yet they remain joyful. When things don't go right for us, we tend to have a little pity party. A flat tire can rob us of our joy for an entire day.
I have experienced firsthand how these remarkable children impact others. Meet Jay Sean, a bright 10-year-old battling cancer that I had the privilege of escorting.
These kids are really an inspiration to us because their tribulations are far greater than ours. They still have their joy. They're still happy all the time, which means joy is a choice. I think that's the big picture. I think these kids are God's carrot to help us all find that joy again.
They are great kids. What a fun night. I've had the opportunity to do that event twice, and I just love it. Now, Greg's goal is to continue to grow Night of Superstars globally. So far, the event is hosted in Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Atlanta, and St. Louis. We wish him lots of luck.
So coming up on October 21st is the next Night of Superstars. Our boardroom is going to be the 19th, and I just Will Bunkner is coming in to do both, so he's going to be a regular panelist with us, so that's really good news. And unfortunately, he was just not available this week, and I thought I was gone the rest of the month, and now I'm not going to be. But anyway, he'll be joining us on the 19th, so that's the next boardroom. The 21st is the Night of Superstars, and please mark that on your calendar and come up. If you have a big enough company, get a table, support a table, bring 10 of your closest friends. If you're not, then come anyway. If I have 5 tables, if you want to sit at one of mine, let me know and we'll make that happen as well. It's an incredibly impacting event. It was life-changing for me. I went in and I was scared to death because I was an escorting one of the special kids down the aisle, and I had no idea what to expect. So I get there, and the little girl that I was escorting told me exactly how to hold her. She was so cute. She told me what to do, how to walk, how to hold her, which side to be on, and she was absolutely perfect until we got onto the red carpet. On the red carpet, they're signing names and everything. They have a book, and you want to get every one of the superstars' signatures. So we got to the red carpet, and she looked at me for a pen, and I did not have a pen. So she looked at me like she was ready to rip my head off. But no, she was fantastic. Luckily, one of the other escorts immediately came to my rescue with a pen, and everything was fantastic. And as Greg said in there, a lot of this really comes down to it's really going to change you. It's going to be a lifetime experience for them, and that's why it's done, but it's a life-changing experience for you too. When I was on the dance floor after the whole event, I danced for probably 30, 45 minutes, and just looking at the kids' faces and how much fun they were having, I probably cried for 30 minutes out of it. It was a fantastic experience. And so now I work with Greg. There's a entrepreneurial program, mentoring program that we do. Marianne and Blake have been part of it. And Grant, who's been on the stage, and his mom in Houston have been part of it, and we've helped them out. They've been on the stage. She and Grant have lived through the Houston nightmare. They've been lucky; they didn't get flooded, but they're tired of Houston. So she's going to come up, and she and Grant are staying in my guest house starting Monday for for as long as she needs to until she finds a house up here and they get settled up in the Dallas area. So love to have any of you whenever we're doing mentoring with any of the superstars. We invite people in, and we do this with people that have presented too if you want. Instead of doing the formal event, we'll do something in my living room and just sit down and talk about your business as well. And we did that with Marianne and Blake, and it's been a lot of fun doing. So please support the Night of Superstars. Giving back is really important in life, and that's part of, as Tammy taught me, that's part of really what life is about, is you need to be giving back. You need to have a passion, and my biggest passion is helping other people grow and succeed. So make sure you have those 2 dates on the calendar. October 19th is the next boardroom here. The 21st is the Night of Superstars. And then as Denise said, we have our one-day Ignite the Secret seminar, which really is tied to business because all of my business, or a lot of my stories and lessons are about business. So it's a day worth of spending time on your goals, where you want to go, getting into your subconscious mind about what's blocking you, getting rid of that. And then as a example of what you can do, we get 1,200 degree coals laid out, and if you choose to, you can storm across the coals with us. It's addicting. It's one of those things that you'll want to do over and over again. So without any further ado, I do thank you for coming, and now it's time for our presenters to come up tonight. We have Chris and Peggy from Career Confidential. Give them a big round of applause.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for having us. It's a pleasure. I had such a good time last month when we came to this meeting, and I learned a lot from it, and I'm excited about what's going to happen tonight as well. So my name is Peggy McKee. I am the CEO of Career Confidential. We've been in business since 2009, and beside me here is Chris Gordon, who is our VP of Business Development. Out in the audience is Zanetta Siciliano. She is VP of Media, Marketing, Social Media, and my CTO is in Atlanta, because he couldn't make it today, but he's in Atlanta. We are a virtual company with people all over the world that do business with us and that we do business with. That's right. So we're very excited to be here with you today to speak to you about our favorite topic, which is Career Confidential. We also have additional team members in technical support, customer service, and also a content manager, writer, blog manager, those kinds of things as well. And we use a lot of virtual assistants throughout the world.
Great. So my name is Chris Gordon, as I was introduced, and I am so honored and excited to be here in this think tank. But truly, it's incredible to get to present to you tonight a completely scalable, successful international business. We've got 25,000 clients already in 92 countries. To me, that's big school. I'm so excited to be here. Next slide. So we have a really big filing cabinet in the office, and inside that filing cabinet is we have over 400,000 active subscribers to our web content and our email addresses, and we email them, we touch them weekly.
We have over 200 plus tools. These tools are going to be PDFs, PowerPoints, videos, audios, interactive tools to help people with their career and their job search. What is interesting is preparing for this is such a great exercise. I'm a big fan of the 80-20 rule. I look at that in all kinds of areas. Zanetta probably gets tired of hearing about the 80-20 rule. And what I found interesting is when I look at it, of those 200 tools that we have for sale, 5 of them represent 96% of our sales. Now, isn't that something? Now, that either means we've really got a great 5, or we have a huge opportunity because we have not marketed those other ones, but we do have those. We also have 25 paperbacks, ebooks, audiobooks. I know a lot of folks in here have books. I've actually brought our books with us here today, so if you want to look at these after the presentation, you can come up here and I'll just put them right here for you. What is unique about that is we are the #1 ebook for job interview on Amazon. And in fact, Amazon even contacted me last week because they want to work with us specifically on our Kindle ebook because of its popularity. So we've got a lot of presence there. We also, because we're always trying to gain prospects, targets, potential customers, we created 5 apps on the Google Play Store and 4 apps on the iTunes Store that are funnels that bring people to our website, have them sign up for free product or free mentoring or possibly a free training seminar.
So as you mentioned, webinars are a really big part of our sales funnel. We do webinars almost every day of the week, if not every day right now.
We don't do Friday.
No, okay, not Friday. No, I don't work on Friday. Golfing, not horrible. Anyway, so we have webinars. Some examples are 60 minutes and you're hired, perfect interview answers, fastest way to find a job, stop applying for jobs. These are some of the products, some of the content that we have that's developed and built, and we're generating revenue on it at no additional cost to us.
Actually, you're going to hear examples about what happened this week with one of our webinars as well.
Right.
So we use these funnels, the social media, the email, the apps, the ebooks, the e-reports, the podcasts, and finally the webinars to bring people to us, make them comfortable, help them get to know how much we care about them, how much we want to help them, and get the hope and courage that they need to get where they want to go in their career and in their job search. Now, we put our Facebook page up here because this is very important. Some of what we learned last month with Will Bunker and some of the other folks that attended last month, plus some information that I'd gotten with some folks that I'm working with on Facebook, we made a huge breakthrough, and our business has changed quite a bit in less than 30 days, and it has to do with Facebook. So we're going to speak to that further.
So currently we have 2.5 million job seekers that have downloaded our free web material, and you know, if 1% of 2.5 million people buy,
they all need shoes.
That's right. So a few examples of what our customers say about us, just a few to talk about. This has been by far one of the best investments that I've made for myself in years. This is what our clients tell us.
And I actually know the name of the client who said this. Patrice said that my confidence is unshakable because I have control of the situation.
I was offered the job.
That's
Thank
right.
you so
that
much.
That right there, for a lot of them, is
I couldn't have done it without you.
As good as it
so
gets.
Much of our role is just providing that confidence.
I'm extremely excited about where my career is going to go.
Excellent information in an easy-to-use format.
That's right. So the bad news is sales have kind of been flat the last couple of years. We haven't had a funnel where we knew you could put X in and get Y out, where we were too scattered in the way that we're thinking. So that's the bad news. The good news is we still have $600,000 of annual sales. We have a support team, world-class customer service, technical support, all of those things. The 400,000 email list, which is an asset, and of course all the products and all the learning that we've had. Now, as the CEO, I have to tell you that I'm very proud of my company, but I have to take some responsibility for the reason the sales have been flat. My mother got a tremendous illness that was completely debilitating, and it took a number of years to run its course. It crushed me. I was trying to go back and forth and help with that. Many of you probably experienced some of this. It was really rough on me, and I had to move because when she died, my dad needed me to be closer, so I've had to move my house and my office, and probably wasn't quite as focused as I should have been during that time. That being said, I'm all in my new house. I've got my brand new office. It's better than I've ever had before, and I'm ready to rock and roll, and I'm tired of that part of my life. So I do take responsibility, though, because if I hadn't had those things that happened, then maybe we would have already gotten to the place where we're at now today, because we do have some very exciting news. The good news is, and some of this I have to attribute to Will Bunker and speaking with him and Chris Henney and then some other folks that I've worked with, is we have a funnel now that we're running for the last 4 weeks where we can put $7 in to get a lead out of Facebook, and in less than 15 days later have $11 out the backside with 90% of the cash in. Okay, and I'm going to give you specific examples about how that happened this week. So this is very exciting. It's a moneymaker. That's what it is. And look whose book I quoted, and I feel so terrible because I didn't put your name on it. I loved the quote. I sent it to my PowerPoint chick. She threw it in there, and then I didn't quote you. This is your book.
Actually, it's Vern Harnish's book.
Okay, well, Vern, I'm reading. I told you I didn't pay attention to the author. I'm so sorry. But this is what he says in that book. You know, startups are about learning, experiencing, validating. Is this really a business? Can you really make this scalable? We're not a startup. We've done all that. We are a scale-up. We know what X gets us when we put it in the box. We get Y. And it's very exciting. So I love the book. I'm not totally done with it, but that's where I'm at. Financing is going to help us increase our profits and drive our sales. And we're going to apply that financing in a very specific place, trying not to be scattered any longer in our life, right? Target selection. And I'm certain that one of the questions from the panelists is going to be, Well, what changed? Why did you get this funnel that works now if it didn't work all this other time? Someone's going to ask me that. And I'm going to go ahead and answer that question now and tell you that it all has to do with target selection. I found out that there's psychological pieces of information about your customer that changes everything. So I would try to choose customers based on demographic or job title or location or how many, do they have an SUV, do they have kids, are they married, or is it a man, is it a woman? That's not powerful enough. You need the psych profiles, Evan Sanchez, right? It's unbelievable what that has done for me. So I got a big grin on my face about that. So I want to get better at that because I still have, even though we've figured out this funnel and it's amazing, there's so much more to be learned. I need to be testing every year of like a 40 years old, 41, 42, 43, male, female, suburbs. I have a lot of other testing that needs to be done, but the psych profiles are what has made the difference on the funnel. It's amazing. There's also better conversion to be done. Right now, we are managing so much with very little, human capital, if you will. That's one of the things that's really wonderful about our business. We don't need a lot of human capital, and we don't run out of raw product, by the way. We don't have to worry about who's shipping in lettuce or what happened to Houston or any of that thing. Doesn't affect us a bit. We have all the product anyone can buy. We even sell to Russia. I've got customers in Russia. So we need to look at conversion into the funnel, the ad, the landing page, the email that you get about the webinar, whether you show up to the live event, conversion to the sale, test the webinars with 2 different offers, higher level upsells, higher profitability on those people. We have people who would love to spend more money with us. We have clients that have spent thousands of dollars with us. And if we could provide them with a mastermind weekend where they could fly in and spend time with people on this, they would do it. But we're at a breaking point of, with what we've got, we need a little more revenue in order to pursue those things, right? So specifically.
Yeah, so while you're figuring out those psychological profiles, let's talk about what we're going to do with this financing. What we know will work is just leveraging the social media advertisement that we've already been speaking about. One example of Facebook that when we were writing this a few days ago, we spent $2,000 on a webinar. It made $3,200 in 3 days with a 90% cash in, and then I found out this morning that Peggy's numbers are wrong.
Well, because Denise made us send in this PowerPoint last night. So it's all Denise's fault. So this morning, when I looked at what went into the bank from this webinar, from the $2,000 that I put in, we made $4,000. So I started advertising on Thursday of last week, finished advertising on Wednesday morning, spent $2,000, made $4,000. That's a moneymaker. And all I need to do is add more of that and get better at it and drill down on the conversions, increase the customer lifetime value and decrease the cost of each one of those prospects and get better prospects, right?
That's just one example that we use for Facebook, but we can do the same thing with LinkedIn and Instagram and all of the new technology that's coming up.
Absolutely. So we need to do the split testing. If Chris Henney was here, I know he'd know about that. Will Bunker certainly did teach me some things about it. I certainly know a lot about it, but we need to do A/B testing where we're testing the reg pages, we're testing the emails, we're testing the content, we're testing the sales offer, and we're testing the upsell, and how all of those things. And that requires data analytics and someone who's extremely statistically oriented and some more attention. But any one of those things will make our business better. So that's where we want to work on.
So currently we have 4 active professional career coaches, executive mentors, myself and Zanetta and Charity Munoz and Peggy, of course. But Career Confidential just started the professional coaching aspect, January of this year, and it's become rapidly successful. We're coaching clients across the country, across the world. Yeah, absolutely. Imagine what we could do if we had 5 more.
Well, and the number doesn't have to be limited. We can identify coaches. We can only pay. We don't have to pay them unless they get coaching clients. We'll give them a part of it. We promote those. We should have a roster of coaches because everybody likes a different flavor, right? You might have a client who wants to specifically speak to a coach who has experience in Lean Six Sigma or whatever.
That's right.
So the coaches is a tremendous opportunity. But this is only like a ninth of our business. We've had 8 months. It's $50,000 is on the live coaching. Everything else is the digital product, entirely scalable, international. No product problems with developing with providing as much product as we could sell, right? Chris.
Man, what a topic. Most of the people in this room, or some of the people here, know me from different hats. You might know me because I've been on city council for 11 years, or you might know me because I'm the trophy husband of my beautiful wife, Jennifer, on the front row here, who owns Quick Ship Melon Business Center, or because we own a car wash, or because I woke up my wife at midnight 8 years ago and said, baby, I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell you, I bought 25,000 stadium seats out of the old Texas Stadium. Don't be mad. I promise you I'm going to start a business and I'm going to sell them. So my niche is I found out that now that I've got 25,000 seats out of the old stadium, go Dallas Cowboys beat the Giants this week, what do you do with them? What now? So I had to go to social media. I locked into this Groupon thing, and I talked to the headquarters in Chicago and figured out how to, I was thinking small. Let's sell these in Dallas. And they're like, no, we need to think what else. Well, what else can we do? I ended up with a contract with Groupon where I had not just the San Antonio market, the Houston market, the Austin market, the Dallas-Fort Worth market, the Oklahoma City market. Every state, 50 states, were selling my silly stadium seats. Now, for 32 days, my wife didn't talk to me, but on the 33rd day, we had made a little bit of money back, and we did it after we made our first $1 million of Groupon sales. They came to us and they said, listen, we want you to help teach other small entrepreneurs how to use the power of Groupon and how to grow your business. And so that's what we did. They came from Chicago. They filmed a commercial in our store, and it really catapulted our business. I'm really sad to say, though, I've only got 60 seats left out of 25,000 plus. My wife thought we'd never see that benchmark. We did it with Groupon. We've got several.
He's going to raffle off one today. No.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got 59 left. So we've got several thousand items on Amazon. We've got over 1,000 items on eBay. We've been eBay power sellers for like 11 years. So I took a small sports store and I cultivated it into many more products, just like Peggy has with all of the web content that she has. I want to come on with Peggy.
Because we haven't done near what we should do with this. He has that ability. So
I enjoy doing the career coaching, but what I really want to do is I want to reel in some of these big fish. In fact, speaking of big fish, when we were speaking with Will Bunker last week, he introduced us to, well, really didn't introduce us, he confirmed what you had told me is we've got to get into the affiliate marketing. We need somebody that can focus on going to Medzilla, ZipRecruiter, going to all of these recruiting houses and partner with them. You need recruits. They need coaching. You bounce them to us. We prepare them for their interviews, and we can all win here. And that's where I want to take it to the next level, as well as some of this social media online sales.
So we're very excited about that. So our customer lifetime values, if you were to look at, we use Infusionsoft for keeping track of all of our customers. If you were to go into my Infusionsoft account and look for customer lifetime value of the 25,000 clients that Career Confidential has, it would be $97. But if you sorted and chose only customers that came from Facebook, it'd be $250. Look at what that psychological profile does for you. It's insane. It's unbelievable. That's why I love business. To me, it's like a Rubik's Cube. You just got to work it, right, until you figure it out. So this is absolutely a tremendous opportunity, and we see opportunities for higher profitability with the live events, with workshops, with bundling products. Not necessarily building a new product, but taking product A and B, putting them together, and offering them at a special price. Right now, we're running so tight, we don't have time to think about those things, and just to present them to our 100,000 people that are in that email list, right? And that's cash on the table waiting for us, right? So this is why we're speaking in front of you guys.
Can't ignore the international market. We love the international market. You know why?
They don't refund.
They don't ever refund.
Our refund rate, 10%. They don't refund.
What we're hearing is that our customers in Australia and the UK and Russia, even in Canada, they don't have services like we provide. That's what our clients are telling us. They seek us and find us through our social media and our weekly blast and friend of a friend. And, we can only do so much now with what we have.
And, forgive me, we haven't done anything with this. And yet, 20% of our customers are ex-US, and they don't refund. So that's tremendous. It's a huge opportunity. With product already built, it just needs that, the marketing muscle behind it. So it's very exciting. So what are we doing here with you guys today? We're seeking $2.4 million because we need that, and we need it to be smart money. So we don't want just an investor. We want an investor who brings the understanding of the scale up, of the marketing, of the profitability, has the strategic relationships or can create those strategic relationships for us and participate in the success for this. So that's what we're looking for.
Peggy, what are the sharks? I mean, the panelist going to get for that $2.4 million?
Okay, so what are you going to get for that? Okay, so right now, if you do nothing, I'm going to double sales in less than 12 months. I might do it by Christmas. I've got that projected out. I think it's possible, but you know, there can be hiccups. I actually, so I can do that without any investment at all from you guys. By the way, we only have debt in the company is $70,000, and it's long-term debt. I don't even have to pay it off yet. Okay, so that's how far we're leveraged. But with the 2.4, we can 10x that in less than 36 months, and in 36 months, we'll be worth $30 million if you figure the multiple at 5x. Most international companies, most scalable companies, digital companies, 5x is reasonable to consider. It used to be 10, but I don't think it's as good now. But 5, when the company's sold, you'll get 10 million. Plus, we're going to throw off profit in the 3 years before we even get to that. So you're probably going to make at least $1 million a year in profit as a third owner, because our deal is 30% for the 2.4. We know will be a tremendous acquisition. There are companies right now like ZipRecruiter, some companies you wouldn't even know their name, who have email lists of millions of job seekers. Our product is instant profit for them. They've already got the targets. They just need something to sell them. Imagine. So acquisition will be a piece of cake. And nobody else in the marketplace like us. Nowhere.
Yeah, I think something that's going to help us with that acquisition that I didn't talk about was, along with our affiliate programs, one of the new webinars that we're working on now is a new automated evergreen webinar that once it's built and it's playing, people are just buying it and they can do it on their schedule.
Midnight.
And not on our schedule. I think that's going to be game-changing for us.
Absolutely. An automated or evergreen webinar would allow us to take that, you know, and it's not 15 days. I did 15 days to be conservative here, but I'm told you about this week. Started advertising on Thursday, finished advertising on Wednesday, webinar, put $2,000 in, took $4,000 out in less than 7 days. But if we have the evergreens, we might be able to pull that down to a 2-day difference or a 1-day difference where you're getting your money back even faster, which would obviously be a good thing for us, right? Absolutely. So that's what we came to talk about, and we're very excited about being here, hearing the questions that you have and the advice that you have. And
who wants to make millions?
Thank you so much for letting us come.
And Carla, you're in the hot seat. Get to start off with the questions.
Perfect. Chris, you said that if of your entire customer base, if even 1% purchased, where would you be? So my question would be, how did you arrive at the $600,000 revenue that you're generating right now? And if you're not at 1% of your customer base, what percent exactly is currently buying? And is that total customer base a membership site, but they're just not buying? Can you elaborate on that?
Would you mind if I pointed to Peggy? She is the financial leader of the organization.
By all means.
So, well, I think he was being a little bit flippant about that, because we've all heard the
We'll
Chinese thing about the shoes and nobody's got shoes, send all the shoes you can get. So right now, in our current format that we're doing, I actually looked today, we have 26 sales out of 936 people since September 1. So I'm giving you very recent data, right? And without them being in the list very long. So I think that comes out to 2.67% or something close to that as far as conversion. But on Facebook, last week on one of the webinars, we had 5% of the people who signed up for the webinar purchased. Which those numbers are, we were running at like 1.5 or 2.5%, but the Facebook thing changes it. It's a much higher conversion rate. So right now, to be very specific, on Facebook, we're converting about 5% into customers.
And what about outside
But those
of Facebook?
400,000 weren't all Facebook, because I've been in business a long time before we figured out this Facebook thing.
Okay, thank you.
Did that answer your? Yes. Okay.
Do you have a recurring, like a membership pricing model, or is every product just individually purchased?
We have a subscription for $97 a month, which is a total access coaching club. We have about 200 people that are in that right now. That has been a wonderful tool for us. It was interesting because last month we had a gentleman here and he had a subscription product versus some individual products, and And I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to think about the subscription thing more because it was pointed out, right? I think that's another opportunity for us. We need to have a subscription product for people that have already gotten their job where it wouldn't be very much money, but every month just a little something, and we provide them with product because it'd be a much larger target. So we do have one subscription. It does perform fantastic. We need more.
And outside of the subscription services, the add-on is the professional coaching. Peggy
Yes.
gets 500 an hour, Zanetta gets 200 an hour, I get 150 an hour. I think Charity is close to the
100 an
same
hour.
as well. You know, that's just additional revenue coming in to people who might not have subscribed.
Right. Most of our people will buy a product mix that costs about $197, and then some of those are like, hey, you know what? I need that other $300 or $400 worth of coaching to help me get this done. We have, I should have looked at this before we left, but out of the 25,000 clients, at least 1,000 of them are over $1,000 with us. And 30% of our customers buy more than one product.
I've been a customer of hers for 19 years.
Yes. Tom?
So I'm trying to figure out how you get this to be a $10 million business and scale up. And the thing that puzzles me is, what is your innovation that is so unique that other people can't just copy it? So what are you going to own in the marketplace that you can really create high value on and sustain and grow and not have other people just pile on?
Right. Well, first of all, I have to tell you, we don't have competition. Like, nobody comes to us and says, well, we're trying to make a decision between whether I want to buy Career Confidential or I want to buy X. There's nothing like that. Now, what the competition is status quo. Should I really spend money on my job? Well, if you usually work and you make 10 grand a month, yes, you should, because you're losing 10 grand a month every day that you're not employed, right? So we don't have competition like a person like that, but I'll tell you the reason I don't think we do is because we're extremely innovative. We update every one of our products like every 3 to 4 months. We're constantly adding digital. We're constantly adding the video. I'm on video. We have other people on video all the time. And people tell us that no one else provides the comprehensive package and the support. And honestly, they say, we can tell you care.
No one else has the #1 book on Amazon.
That's right. And none of the other
questions.
companies have that. And that's an authority and credibility piece.
You've been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah, since 2009. Do you think that's an issue?
Well, it's an issue, but how big an issue it is, I haven't studied it, so that's for you to decide, and your investors.
Sir.
It's an important issue.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, so your back-end analytics and your online focus is extremely impressive. So you guys need to give yourself, a big pat on the back for that, because a lot of entrepreneurs haven't even mastered that, nor have they entered that space. I have a list of questions, of course, but my question is going to focus on your need, not on building your business, which I'm tempted to go in that direction. But your need is you want $2.4 million. So my question is going to be focused on that. Since you have the analytics, what is your branding like to attract that investor? Because without giving advice, so you have a great name. Do you have sexy branding or branding that would stand out to attract an investor? Because I haven't seen your website, and I haven't seen your ads or commercials. Mm-hmm. And is it consistent? Mm-hmm. Would be in line with that question.
So first of all, I wouldn't say that we've spent a lot of money on branding. I'm more interested in making sales, and I haven't had as much problem with the brand. So that's one thing. Second of all, I haven't been marketing to investors at all. I just haven't. And on the $2.4 million, I had a gentleman run that spreadsheet for me, and he feels like we probably only need $700,000, that we'll never touch the rest of it. But if we do this, we'll never need money again. So that's our perspective. And we think that we bring a lot to bear that is very useful. When we talk about strategic relationships, our company within another company could help them with their own business, because what we really do is teach people how to market themselves and be aggressive So,
No doubt. And I just want to say it's a great space. I mean, if I didn't have my companies, that would be a great, we have a client that just sold his recruiting firm for $100 million, and all his 4 buddies did the same thing at different amounts. And I could definitely see your vision to be acquired. I think if I was an investor, it'd be a great place to put money. So, things to think about, though. Yeah.
yes. But we do have one. I should say though, we have tried to have a consistent brand. We have logos. We stay within a certain color range. Our products look similar. If we can I slide back an image, or am I going to get electrical shock or?
Matt might come running out.
No, I don't want him after me. Let's see. Yeah, when you held up that book, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that's the book I'm reading on Scale Up. Where's it at? See, notice how the blue, red, white,
and blue.
Yeah, red, white, and blue, very consistent in the books. I have a lot of people tell me, I sent out an email about this networking ebook to maybe 30,000 people the other day, and I had at least 10 people write me and tell me, I've bought every book you've got. Quit sending me a message until you write a new book, which we've got a brand new book on confidence coming out in a month. So,
And this branding isn't just for this presentation. This was pulled off of our website.
oh yeah, these are our
This
products.
content
This is
there.
what our products look like. This isn't for the presentation,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Okay. So you're helping people find a job, correct?
Or advance in their career,
Or advance in their career.
whatever they're trying to do.
Okay. So in the tenure that you've been in business, how many people can you say that you've helped find a job?
Well, since we have a 100% money-back guarantee, if they don't like the product or it doesn't do what they need.
I'm not asking for the guarantee.
Right.
I'm asking
but
how many people.
what I'm saying is those 25,000 are the ones who didn't ever refund. So,
So when people are looking to invest in a business, they want to know if it's actually doing something.
Mm-hmm.
While you've been around a while and you've got a product that can offer things to people and help them get a job, which I applaud because people need help, right?
Yes,
Because they're
yes.
usually going to, hey, damn it, can you help me get a job? You know anybody that can? That happens, right?
Right.
And there's never been anything out there to help them. But if somebody was looking at the numbers of your business, one of those would be the bottom line, the profits, the balance sheets, the P&Ls, whatever it
Right.
might be. But they have to know that if they're going to invest in a business, how many people you're really helping.
so should we survey all of our customers and ask them about what their experience was with us so that we can provide that as far as data?
I'm not seeing a way that you could actually do that. And if you were doing that and it said, hey, I have a success rate of 90% in helping you find work, then I, as somebody looking at your product, might be more intrigued to want to do more business with you. Now, with that said, you're looking for other ways. Oh, wait a minute. I can't give the advice now, right?
No advice.
Okay. So I'm going to hold off on the advice. But if I'm going to your website, which I just looked at, and the website itself on a mobile device is very cumbersome. And there's a lot of information. We've got to... Again, here's the advice. I can't help it. I go right to the advice. I'm
You'll
going to
get a
hold off
chance
on
in
that.
a minute.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you that if I'm looking for work, I need to have something that's going to say, we can help. I know. You could be the best thing since sliced bread. We all know what Walmart is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't shop at Walmart. I don't care if they're the cheapest price on the planet. There's a reason I don't go in there. But there's also nothing on your website that says we have success at what we're doing. Or I'm not seeing
Sounds
where...
like advice.
Yeah. I mean...
So maybe what
it's
he's
kind of-
asking is if we have reviews or customer reviews on there.
Well,
'Cause we
reviews,
do
anybody
like
can put
Amazon.
reviews on anything. Anybody can go to anybody and say, hey, we need reviews. Are you going to put the bad ones up as well as the good ones? No, we're never going to put up bad reviews. I'm
Ours
looking
are put
for...
up by our customers. We don't put them in.
Yeah, I would never do it either. What's important is the number of people that you've helped. Like, I process billions of dollars of credit cards all over the country. People are like, how do you do that? Well, I can do that. In your case, I'm trying to figure out what percentage of people have you helped. And if I'm looking for a job, I'm going to be going, I wonder if they've helped other people. I mean, that would be just a very simple thing. So I'm looking at this going and asking the question. So how many people? So you have how many? You had 400,000 emails? Or
Yes,
what
but
was
those
it?
aren't clients. We have 25,000 clients, paying clients.
25,000 paying clients. And they're, well, this is advice.
So perhaps
Yeah.
You're looking to say, do we have a survey? And I'm saying no, but maybe we should have. But that's not advice.
Not necessarily even a survey. I just need to know when I go to your information. Because the first thing I would say, even with all the stuff you have here, I would say, so how many people have you helped?
It's a fair question. I think a lot of my clients personally, whenever we're doing the webinar, while we're on a 1 hour webinar, they're checking me out on LinkedIn. They're checking out Zanetta on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And on
They're looking at our
LinkedIn,
reviews.
they're going to see our referrals. Chris, he opened my eyes. He screwed my head on straight. Isn't that what Jeff said today
Yes.
while we were on a call with Jeff? I have a client who was an architect in Dubai who bounced me over to his buddy in Spain who needed help. A lot of it's word of mouth as well. We do get good feedback. We do have good referrals, but I don't think we've ever quantitated it.
And I think to speak to that is that once that person gets that job, they're done with us. Now a few of them are like,
Or the promotion.
hey, I learned something from them. Maybe I should see if I should get some ongoing career coaching. And so some of those do that. But those are the real A players, people who are really investing in themselves. Sort of similar to probably this group versus a group at random restaurant, right? But once they get the job, they're gone because I got the job. We get tons. One of the things that Zanetta and I love about our job is we do get emails every day from around the world from people who say, you changed our life.
Did you have 3 today?
3 to 8 emails every day.
Yeah, I love it.
And the 3 hour, I'm sorry if I'm not allowed.
Actually, you can't talk because nobody can hear you.
Yeah. No, my goal as a consumer is to get a job. I stumble across your product, and I think it's awesome, but I'm just looking for something that's going to say, man, these people are fantastic. Even though you've got great product, I want something visible, and I didn't hear anything from you in your presentation that said, we have a success rate of XYZ. And I think that, to me, is really important. And again, it's kind of
You've
advice.
given all your advice now.
No, I'm not done.
Not even started, are you, Kevin?
Yeah. So I'm just...
Are you done with questions, or you got more?
I'm good there.
Okay. I have a
now.
list. First of all, I want to say you did a great job with that presentation. You worked very well together. It's hard to get 2 people on stage a lot of times and work as well as you did. Looked very scripted. I won't ask you how long you practiced, but you did a really good job. I also really like the business, and I have tons of questions, and I do want to sit down at a lunch with you sometime soon, and I'll save a lot of them for that. Couple of those that I am going to ask now, though. You said you downloaded, or 200, I heard you say 2.5 million people downloaded materials, yet you only, it's a big number, but you only have 400,000 emails. Why do you not have 2.5
When they
million?
unsubscribe, I don't count them as part of the active email list.
So you had,
So our email list truly would be 2.5 million.
So you
But
had
I can
that
only-
many people unsubscribed?
Oh, yes.
That's huge.
A lot of people
You're
want to
getting
get
stuff
your...
from us twice a week, and you don't need a job. You quit listening.
And a lot of people will get if they can get the free ebook or the 50 interview, that's all they want, and so then they unsubscribe. There's some people that are kind of users on the internet like that.
Okay.
But we're willing to deal with them to help everyone and get the people that we want.
Okay. I didn't say this earlier, but obviously nothing's confidential, so don't answer anything you don't feel comfortable answering. You have 600,000 in sales right now. Can you tell me what the profits are?
Yes, well, that's an interesting point because of Will Bunker. Before I met with him, we were looking at our spreadsheet, and we had as our cost of goods refunds only because we don't have any cost of goods. And Will's like, okay, that's not going to work. You've got to bring your marketing pay-per-click up into the cost of goods. And you've got to bring your any marketing, so the Facebook ads, the LinkedIn ads, any of that's got to come up in your cost of goods. Otherwise, you don't really, And your accountant would be fine with cost of goods, which means you've got an 87% profit margin, which is fantastic. But it's not really 87% if you got to spend that marketing dollar to get it, right? So I am rearranging our profit, our P&L statement, so that it will reflect what Will showed me last time. And so if you look at that, if you look before, the profits are slim, and that's been our problem because we've been
whether the cost of goods sold are here or here, your bottom line profit's going to be the same. So what is the bottom line profit?
Well, we take salaries, the two owners, and we also have to pay salaries and everything else. So like when we looked at our sales for this year will be 600, well, if it's going to be different because of the changes that we've got going on, but if we were to stay on track, we would have $600,000 worth of sales, probably $550,000 worth of costs. So we're not making a lot of profit to come off of that. And that's been our problem, right? Because we should be throwing a lot more profit off so that we could put that right back into advertisement. But that has changed with this model, with that funnel that I've got. It's exhilarating.
You talked about financing, and I didn't understand what you were talking about.
Oh, just that debt. We have $70,000 worth of debt in the company. That's it. Is that what you mean?
Up on the screen, when you said financing, you're talking about the $70,000 in debt you have?
Oh, no, I'm talking about if we receive financing, investment.
Funding,
I should have called it funding or investment.
Okay, good. Understand. How busy are you with your coaching? Are you staying busy with it?
I just raised my price to $300 an hour so that I won't be coaching as much because I make more money for the company when I'm working on the business.
Okay, for the rest of them, how busy are they?
They're not.
Not at all?
Not enough.
Okay.
They could take on
20%,
more.
10%?
10 to 20%.
So why do you want 5 more? What would they do for you?
Because people have different things that they like, different flavors. And we have this huge list of people that we could market to. If we were giving different webinars where, like I've got a Six Sigma guy right now who wants to be a coach for us. My belief is we have a lot of IT people and project managers in our database. My guess is if we would have a coaching webinar where a project manager, Six Sigma guy gives advice on how to run, do your job, that we would get more coaching from them. So it's for back-end customer lifetime value, not our main business. Our main business needs to be the digital because that's the thing that doesn't have any cost and that we can do day in, day out, never lose. Don't worry about raw materials or anything else like that.
Did you write all of your ebooks yourself? Yes. You own them?
I own them all, yes.
Wow. How many?
21 ebooks, I think.
Okay. And what are the 5 tools that make 96% of your business?
An extreme resume makeover kit, which is for anybody who needs a resume. That's a kit, $74. The 30, 60, 90-day plan, which is a tool you take to the interview to set yourself apart from everyone else, how you talk about how you'll be moving forward in the job in the next 30 and 60 and 90 days. The Hidden Jobs Finder, which is our tool for finding and contacting hiring managers directly with over 50 pages of proven scripts to use with managers that are proven to get the results that you want from them. Because a lot of people, when they're looking for a job, there's a little bit of negativity with that, and they end up putting that into their messages. And so we had to create messages for them because we would teach them how to get in touch with hiring managers, but their message would sabotage them, all again psychological, right? And so that's the Hidden Jobs Finder. So we talked about the ERMK, the 30, 60, 90-day plan, the Hidden Jobs Finder, the LinkedIn profile tutorial, and we bundle those also in a product called the Job Search Essentials Kit. So those are the 5 products.
Have you raised any money yet?
No, never have asked for it.
First time to ask.
Okay. And is your preference, do you care? One investor, many investors?
Don't care.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But I really want more than just the investment because like just the time with Will Bunker last week was very, very valuable for our organization. And I know that if we gain investment from someone like that, it's going to be exponential for both of us.
Very true. Then we're going to go to the advice section.
Can I ask other questions?
Yeah, sure.
Who are the people that you're having? Are these professionals? Are these blue collar, white collar?
Having what?
That are
For the
looking
coaches?
for work. Who's looking for work? Do you know?
Our avatar, our customer avatar, if you will, and it could be a male or female because I haven't been able to figure out yet if there's a true difference there on the purchasing situations, but It's usually a person between 40 and 55 with a bachelor's degree, worked in a professional environment, made more than $60,000 up to $300,000, $400,000 executives, typically. We do sometimes see some pipe folks and some construction guys, and they really benefit from our tools. It's kind of interesting. But typically it's the white-collar worker, bachelor's degree, 40 to 55 years old.
Interesting. And these individuals, these are the ones that you're using Facebook now. And do you know how to use Facebook for marketing, where you say 30 to 45-year-olds?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Obviously, you're drilling that down.
We learned 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No, we've been using Facebook for a while, but we were trying to figure out demographic type things. Did they drive SUVs? Did they make $100,000? Did they have the title of VP or GM? And we thought that could work. When we present those people with our ads, it's a no-go. It didn't work, right?
Go ahead.
When I took a group of people that had purchased from Facebook and created a look-alike audience, all of a sudden they're jumping in like fish and buying at a rate of 5%.
So now, on the Facebook side, you get this message out, and it's coming back, and you're using the funnel, and it's going into Infusionsoft, where it then creates something where you're touching them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. How many times is it that you're actually having to touch the person where they spend the money?
Well, in this case of this funnel that I was just telling you about, they jumped into the funnel, received an email with a link to the webinar, came to the webinar on Wednesday, 5% purchase, $200 average purchase, $197 actually.
So after that, are you done with them, or you go back and send something else to them?
We go back to them because we think we can get coaching dollars. We've got other products that they may want, salary negotiation products, how to be a better interviewer, get a coaching time with Zanetta, get some time with Chris, get some time with me.
So what I see is an organization that is helping people find a job. And then you feel that after they find the job, well, they've got the job and you're kind of done with them. Would that be kind of accurate?
They feel that.
Okay.
I think there's a tremendous opportunity there because we have a tremendous fan base in those 25,000 people because many of them think we changed their lives. Okay, so I know that they would buy more from us if we provided products for them, but I've been so focused on this business that I haven't developed those out or created those. It was one of the things I was telling Chris is we'd put together an executive webinar with a higher price point of $397, and we didn't have success with it. Well, it was because of the psych profile pieces, right? I guarantee this group that we're getting into our list right now, I was telling him, I bet if we put that executive webinar in front of them, they're going to act different. They're going to act more like the people who would buy that $397. So see, the psychological profile is...
Well, and now you're talking about the psychological profile, and I have a question on that realm. So we're really just helping somebody have the tools to find a new job or a job, correct?
Not just find. It's once they have an offer, we teach them how to negotiate benefits and salary and how to have those conversations in an intelligent way. A lot of people will just accept that first offer. They don't know that they're leaving money on the table when they take that first offer. We teach them a little bit of patience and how to say the right things and not hammer those decision makers multiple times a day.
Right.
Let's do it.
So now what is you're saying a psych profile? Is this a lot of employers have people take those crazy tests where they do whatever and then they go, okay, we have to figure out a way to mold them into our business, or this isn't somebody we want with us, because that happens. Absolutely. Is that what the psych test that you're doing?
We're not actually running a test. The difference is prior to 1 month ago, when I would set up my ad in Facebook, I might choose that I want a man who's 40 to 50, who makes $100,000, who drives an SUV, who lives in a suburb, who is married and has 2.5 kids. Okay? That's what I was trying to do, right? Then, when I spoke with this other person, they're like, hey, take your customers that have came from Facebook. Facebook creates a lookalike audience, people who have the same characteristics as your customer, not your prospect, because you don't know that your prospect's a good target, right? You only know your customer is a good target. And so then you make this lookalike audience, and they act just like our customers, only they buy even at higher rates, 5%. And they buy quicker as well. Everything is better about this customer because of the psychological piece to it. Do you understand?
No.
Okay. So I don't actually have like a psych tool.
Okay. Got it.
But Facebook has this ability for you to take a set of 10 people. Like if we took 10 people out of this audience and we poured it into Facebook and we said we
Sure.
want to see 10 others that look like
No,
that.
I get all that.
Huh?
I understand, but how is that going to help somebody get hired?
It's not going to help them get hired. It's going to help me make money because
That's how
I'm
we're getting better.
targeting
Better targets.
people who have the propensity and the desire to be more than they are and who are willing to put their money down to make that happen. And that's why we've increased our number of...
So you're using it for your own. I thought we were talking about helping the person get a job.
No.
It's just about getting more clients,
Got it?
targeted
Okay.
clients.
It's been a huge... well, it's what I love about business, right? I mean, one thing making that much difference in your business...
Oh, no, I'm not saying you should make money at all.
Oh, no,
or
I'm just
anything
saying,
like that either, but
it's just been a
I
tremendous...
think we definitely need to find ways to make money. There's no question about it. I'm just, it goes back to how many people are we helping? And I think once you have that and you can say, based upon all of these things that we're doing, I actually, I can't say it, this is the advice part.
So we're kind of over on our time, but if you have quick questions, go
Sorry.
for it.
You said you recently increased your coaching rate to 300, but Chris, you had said that
I
her
said
rate was
500. Did I
500.
misspeak?
So,
Well, we have a deal where we give them 2 hours for the price of 3. And so my deal, if they buy the 2 hours for the price of 3, is $600. He misspoke. So my rate per hour, I increased it from $250 to $300 because I realize I'm not making as much money for my business coaching as I do when I'm working on my business.
okay. And then the second question was, what kind of a following do you have? Because you keep talking about Facebook. How many people are following you?
19,000.
Okay.
And we touched 271,000 with advertisement this week.
Okay. Got it.
Do you guys have an affiliate marketing program?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And that's a huge opportunity for us.
Okay. What is it? I mean, what does it consist of?
35%. If someone, let's say that you joined the affiliate marketing program and you sent all your buddies to us and they bought wildly and crazily, at the end of that month, I would send you a check for 35% of whatever they bought.
Are you doing anything to promote that?
No.
Okay.
That's one of our focuses because it's
I am
huge.
not an employee. I'm a consultant. I get paid when I get a coaching gig. That's why we're looking for a little bit of funding. So I'd
Right.
love to do
but
this
we're
full
starting
time.
on the affiliate as well because we think that, people have, like Will was talking about, people have excess inventory on their websites. We could put our stuff there, then they could get 35% of whatever they sell. I'd never thought about selling
Are
it
you
like
on
that.
commission junction or anything like that?
No, but
Okay.
I've
Just
seen that.
Your own?
Yes, it's our own. Infusionsoft allows you to set it up pretty easily. And we have a couple affiliates, and we've had affiliates that have even brought up to, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 worth of sales a month for us, right? But we have not actively worked that, and it should be, because it's all found money. You don't spend anything unless, yes, it's a huge opportunity.
We need to get on to advice now, if we could go to that. Carla.
So you've talked a lot about Facebook and how you initially were targeting a male, age 40, suburbs, what have you, and now you're using this new funnel. But it seems to me, and I have a huge following on Facebook, and I'm fully retired, and I have over 100,000 just following me personally and on what used to be a business page, and then I've got who knows how many 100,000s on everything else. What I've learned today in business, though, is that Instagram is really even more effective in so many ways beyond Facebook. And you're also missing the whole millennial market, in my opinion, because you're focusing on the 40 and he's in transition,
That's
he has a
right.
bachelor's, but you're completely overlooking a generation that's going to rule the world.
And
that
needs help.
It's in transition. So I feel that there's much more room for growth here and improvement on what you're doing by utilizing Instagram, by not overlooking the millennial market, and as it relates to Facebook, broadening that. Now, I understand that whole mirroring. So if I search something on Facebook, I look for weight loss, the next thing I know, I have every weight loss ad coming at me. And so that was kind of what she was explaining, Kevin. I get that. But I think that there's a lot of room for improvement. I think you guys are missing a huge, huge
Absolutely.
demographic. And so I would say put a lot more focus.
And we did, do I get to say anything here? Or am I
Nope,
supposed
you
to
can't
talk?
talk at all.
So I would say put a lot
Okay.
more focus on how can you utilize Instagram, really, first and foremost, and how can you broaden your use of Facebook. And then I would definitely, in your PowerPoint, maybe talk about your affiliate program, because then, aside from the fact that we're investors or I'm an investor, but I also have a huge following, so
Sure.
that might be something that would interest me or
Right.
what have you. So I think that would be a good thing for you guys to put in your presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everything's great. I like what you guys are doing. I'm in the digital product space as well. So I think it's great. And what I would recommend for you guys is to really focus on the subscriber model. When I moved to the subscriber model, life got so much easier. You stop worrying about where your next deal is going to come from. And then it sounds like a lot of your guys' issues right now is around marketing and like trying to figure out that whole piece. And you've gotten closer and you've got a couple of funnels that are working really well. I would really focus on that affiliate marketing program, getting that out, because like you said, it's free money. And if you've got proven funnels that you can provide your affiliates,
they love it.
Leverage their ad dollars. And with the conversion numbers that you're showing there, as an internet marketer, I would be all over a 35% commission and promote the hell out of that. So I think that would be huge for you, and the subscriber piece.
Thank you.
Love what you're doing. In my mind, you need to get some leverage here. So 200 plus tools, you got 5 that work. Focus on the 5 that work. Get more focused on that, number one. Number two, I would never go right now where you're at with a $600,000 revenue basis to try to raise $2.4 million. Somebody's already told you you may only need $700,000. You're going to give away the store if you could get that. Get a start. Most of these kind of things at this level are done by family and those kind of things. So to ask somebody for 2.4, at least in my experience, is unreasonable and unnecessary. So I wouldn't do that. The other thing is that I really got sort of intrigued with what you were talking about. I think it was Will was talking about. There are other interest groups out there wanting to help people get jobs. And there's leverage there. I mean, just for instance, we were talking about veterans. There's a lot of people trying to get veterans jobs.
Military
My guess is
transitioning.
that there are focused interest groups that you can get some leverage, get them to help focus on buying your tools. So I would try to get some of that kind of leverage. And I get your revenues up, proven revenue stream. Sounds like you found some new discovery here. Get your revenue up, then you're going to have a better chance of getting a better investor deal. So those are all reactions. It's an exciting opportunity. It's just how do you get the leverage to make it happen?
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to run real quick through my suggestions because I have a list. But the first thing I want to say is one business strategist, someone like me, but not me, but a business strategist could do all this for you and get you money and take a percentage of your deal, okay? In my opinion, you still need someone to help you with branding. Everything that you guys are talking about is a digital online business. I'd like to see more. I love digital marketing, but that's an addition to a company. So millennials, that was the first thing on my list, was the only reason you're focusing on that demographic is because I believe that's your demographic. That's who you are. But if you had a millennial as a spokesperson, let's say you got 10 coaches, different industries, and you had a millennial rock star spokesperson. Everybody's got the same brand. Think Ritz-Carlton, same uniform, so to speak. Doesn't have to be identical, but a similar look, right? And it becomes more about the company, right? Career Confidential, because you've got a great name, great colors, but it becomes more about the company, and then you represent one aspect of it. The millennial rock star is somebody in the industry who's already like a Josie Parks, who's a millennial who's on Blue Collar Millionaire, who's already somebody that has a following of 1.5 million. As far as industry-specific coaches, I think that if you did get, someone in the aerospace industry, someone in the finance industry, people that already have big followings, Maury, right? He's in the finance industry that are coaches or can be coaches. People like some of our clients, Sybil's a rock star, or, we have someone she actually has this program called 30 Days to a Raise, but she doesn't have your company. She doesn't have any content. She's just an author, speaker, but she's got a TV show, millions of followers, a legit TV show, and she's all over the Today Show and everywhere. And someone like that to offer their coaching expertise and also be kind of like the head brand under that division. Okay. Again, I just want to go back to a business strategist that really is good at branding would do all this for you. Another thing, pre-med schools, programs, Pre-Med Mondays, doctors, that we have a lot of clients that have these programs, Pre-Med Mondays. They talk to med students that are pre-med, right? Partnering with somebody like that, but only, like several organizations. But again, I saw a few blind spots. If I were an investor, I'd really want you to have somebody really focused on your brand and business strategy, because y'all are working yourselves to death. We all do, entrepreneurs, but trading time for money and a few blind spots like that coaching fee isn't good at all, really low. The webinar, like $300, $500 an hour is, you don't want to do that. And the $2,000 net on a webinar, we got clients that do $50,000 net, and it's like 27, on a webinar, and that's not even his business. That's just part of the funnel. So when I say blind spots, a business strategist, somebody that knows a lot of entrepreneurs, would point those things out and say, hey, this is a few tweaks. You guys have built such a great back end, such great dedication. I can see you're totally committed to this. And tagline, last thing. So again, going back to the branding, I heard you say that once they get the job, they're gone. That makes sense. But I love the idea, if you added a tagline, something like, career confidential, your career consultants for life. How long does everybody have a job? I mean, unless you're Carla, okay, who's retired. I'm never retiring personally. They're going to bury me in these heels. When I'm 90, I'll still be doing deals. But your career consultants for life, right? I mean, people, and it doesn't have to be that, but I'm just saying, people have a job their whole life, right?
Right.
Generally.
Yes.
We don't have that model anymore where we, work for the gold watch. So I love the idea of really, if you do that, then right up front, you're telling them we're your career consultants for life, and then you can upsell them on the back end. You can sell them whatever you want, right? Okay, I'll let you go. I got.
Yeah.
Just let you go.
Yeah. No, it's good. I want to piggyback off of what she's saying. So here you got this great product. You help them get a job, and then they just disappear. Well, you should have the next step in it, and that next step should be, hey, now that you've got that job, we've got some rah-rah meetings that we want you to come to, and we're going to have Brian Tracy there, or we're going to have Jack Canfield there, or whatever, and you're going to keep them engaged and happy at that job. And then what happens is you've got a happier person, and they're going to go, okay, I got to go back to this company again and say, hey, they got to help me find another job that's going to pay me more money because Brian Tracy said that goals is what I need to have. So now you've got the stickiness.
And that's the brand.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the stickiness. So, and that's how businesses work. Mine works a little that way. I don't really use it too much, but it's, even though we process credit cards, we can offer gift cards. The gift cards is the sticky side. So it's harder to make a transition away from that because how are you going to justify moving, and I don't know what's on those gift cards. Well, now I'm going to lose revenue. It's stickiness. So now you've got a great product, you're selling it at a great price, you're making a lot of money, and you've got this unbelievable product. You were talking about 5 products that are the core. Well, when I'm looking through your website, there's so many of them. How do I know which one? You've got to really specifically find out. If, for example, you go to a restaurant, and the menu is like this big. And you're trying to look at it. Hey, what are you going to have? I don't know. They come over and they go, let me see, can you give me another minute? So you got to take that and kind of narrow it down. You already know because your people, what they're purchasing. Tell me right now, what are the 5 books that everybody buys? You can't, because you can't talk. That's why we can't do that. Sorry. Don't talk. Right.
To piggyback on what he said is, your webinars, I forgot to say, I'd love to see them all pre-recorded, except for your intro if you want, but I'd love to see them all pre-recorded and have rock stars.
YouTube. Where's your YouTube?
Yes, there's a million rock stars.
Yes.
Like if you had Charles on a webinar and he was pre-recorded, Steve, all these other authors, sales experts, 7 steps to being great at sales, presentation experts, et cetera. You have people come on like Carla, have people talk about what their expertise is. Everyone in this audience, oh my gosh, there's some nonprofit people that I guarantee you, if you could get them on camera to do 10 minutes on, you probably have a whole nonprofit industry, right? There's nonprofit businesses. And you could get these people in their various industries to do pre-recorded 10 minutes for you. That would be gold. That would be gold. And you don't have to do webinars 4 days a week anymore,
How much contact do you have with human resources people that are actually hiring?
We don't.
Oh, they can't.
And I knew that, actually.
He's just trying to trick you.
Yes.
See?
So I'll tell you, you have one of the biggest resources right here in the DFW area called H Architects. They have one of the largest groups of people that come in from all over the country. I just happen to have them as a client. So I can introduce you to them. They would probably love to see your tools, to have them at your... have you ever popped up a little tent and said, hey, we're here? Right now you're very virtual. But all these human resources people, they're looking for people. They want good workers, and there's people going to those places looking for work too. So everybody's trying to interact. And with today's day and age of social media, if you were pop up a little tent and you've got a few of your books out there, or hawking your products or whatever it is, and these H architect kind of people, these human resources people, they're also reading your books. You know why? They need to know how to hire somebody. So you're helping people get a job, but the people that want to hire them are also trying to figure out the ways to get them to get hired. So I think that you got to look at all avenues that are really important to everybody in the picture. Now, when you make it sticky and you get them coming to the big rah-rah meetings, everybody's happy and we're making goals and everybody's at their job, when they want another job, they're going to come back. But you've got to create some books that also have, when you've got your job, these are the things that you have to keep yourself happy. What are you doing for your yoga routine? Are you keeping yourself happy? Are you in the religious world? What are the other things that are going to keep them motivated to keep them sticky within your organization? Now you've got, hey, for $97 a month, we could have you on our monthly newsletter with blah, 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 showing you this book. And you know what? If you spend just another $100 and it's $197, we'll give you that book before everybody else. And now you're using things as tools, because everybody's like, listen, we got to get this right now. Who's that guy, Ron Popel, whatever his name is, whatever that product is. But wait, there's more. We have to do that. And that's how you can get that excitement going. I haven't seen any of your videos. I haven't watched any of that. It sounds like you're closing 5%. Is that accurate?
On Facebook, yes.
Quite honestly, I think that's terrible. Your click-through should be much more than that. And it needs to be like in the 70%. Let's get 60%. Let's get it where people are going, hey, I'm using this thing. Hey, you need a job. You were looking for a job last week, weren't you? You got to read this 30, 60, 90 action plan I saw over here. I mean, you got to watch this video. How about this? People that are looking for a job, tell me social media, man. When they're, or whoever's doing social media, people are looking for a job. Do you know that when they leave that website and they go to another website, stuff is following them? Are you doing that?
Yes, retargeting.
Yep.
You
so
can't
you
answer. We need to. We're kind of running on time, and we need to get to the audience. I'm going to make 2 points and then get to the audience. The first thing I would say is going on what I see you having a database of your customers where they select where they're at in their stream, so you give them the products they need. They've said that, I'm just saying it a different way. So you know if they're currently looking, you know if they've just found a job, now they have a different level of products, but don't leave our database. I think it's important to do whatever you can to keep that 2.5, that's a huge database. You want to keep that database where you can use them and don't give them too much. So slow down if they're, you may slow down. I've gotten some of these things where when I want to get off of a database, they say, if we're giving too much, how much would be okay? And then that's what they give me. So if they only want to email monthly, maybe that's what you do. You figure out how to target it that way. The main advice that I'm going to target for you is your valuation, because that's kind of my thing, and I'm going to go along with Tom here. private companies are valued generally between 3 and 5 times their earnings. So that means to get the valuation you want, which is $8 million, you're saying your company is worth $8 million, that you have to have between $1.6 and $2.6 million in revenue to have that valuation. For anybody to give you money over that valuation, they're really throwing it away. You can go in the market and get liquid investments that are at, I mean, you can get out if you don't like them. We can't get out of what you're doing, and so your valuation is way, 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 way off. One of the investments I did, he was here yesterday and had dinner. He's going to come back and at our next boardroom. But Rick Sarmiento, who started the White House Black Markets, grew it to how many ever stores, hundreds of stores, sold it out to Chico's, and so now I'm the sole investor of his new chain called Boho Nation. I own 100% of it. The way it works, because he had no profits, this was an idea. So the way it works is when he gives me a 60% return on my investment, then per year, per annum, then I revert to a 10% owner and he gets 90%. So that way he gets what he wants in the end if he's giving me what I want. But I don't think you're going to have much success trying to raise $2.4 million unless you have some rich friends that aren't going to want control of the business. And so that's what Jay Rogers taught me, was either you do liquidity or control. Liquidity only comes from a public company, so otherwise the investor group has to have control of the business until they get their money and their return back. So put some thought into that, and I have a lot of ideas for you. I'm really interested in your business, and I'd love to sit down with you and have a longer mastermind. But I do want to get to the audience now. So audience, when you have something to say, wait until you have a microphone in front of you, put it up to your mouth, stand up and look at the camera.
Hi, Bill Wallace. I've worked with 164 startups. First of all, your numbers do not work. They sound like you made them up yourself and you had no help from outside counsel. I went and I tried to play a Millennium, a Gen Xer, and a Gen Yer. So I went and looked for a YouTube video. I didn't find one. I went about you talking about the company specifically. Then I went to look for a TED Talk. I didn't find one. Then I thought about, well, if I'm a Millennium, I'm either going to have 5 or maybe 8 jobs in 10 years. But if I'm a Gen Y or Xer, I may have 8 in 5 years, and you're doing nothing to stick me to you. Because if you get me a job, I should love you. I should be thinking about you every day. And there's no stickiness to anything you said. So I think you need to bring in somebody that has a deeper understanding of the market you're trying to reach, because you're not able to jump in the shoes of the other people other than the millennial, other than the 40-ish that you're trying to reach. That would be my first advice. My second advice would be do a ROT study, return on time. Look at where you're spending your time and the dollars you're getting from it. Because it sounds a little bit like you're spinning your wheels. And whatever that 4% is, you talked about a 96 and a 4%, the fact that you're still talking about that 4% is a mistake. Why isn't it gone? Why aren't you focusing only on what's making you money? And then, if there's 20 things making you money, or 30 things, look at the amount of time each one of them takes to make you that dollar and get rid of 20 of them. I also looked at your website. I spent maybe a minute on it. I was looking to get a job. I wasn't looking for all of this other stuff. So if you want me on the website to get a job, you better show me how to get a job when I first look at it. So that would be my advice to you. Then you can upsell from there. You can't upsell until you get my interest. So that's harsh advice, but it comes from the heart, because I've watched companies fail. The first thing, get somebody to help you with your valuations. If you want to raise that much money, you got to be worth something. So I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Okay, one of the things, everybody keeps talking about the virtual and the digital marketing, and I do digital, I do e-marketing, I do social networking, all of that. But one of my biggest things that I get from people who are on the web is that face-to-face contact, that guerrilla marketing, that touch marketing, the warm calling. That's how you keep. I have over 380,000 subscribers in my email database. I do not ever email all 380,000 at one time. Not ever.
We don't either.
They're completely regional.
Segmented.
I actually do warm calling. I find out who they are, what they're interested in, that psychological that all piles into that. Because I don't want to drown your email. So that 2.5 million, a lot of that is probably because they're unsubscribing. Because for me, I hate when I open my email, and every 30 minutes, I have over 1,000 emails coming into that. So I use one email that's just for signing up for anything online. But another thing you can do, that's just to keep your actual subscriber list, so that 400,000 doesn't drop any less. Also, when you're going to career, like all these career days where they actually come out and do job fairs, you need to be a booth. If you want to spend good marketing money, you need to be a booth at those career fairs, because what they're doing is they're going in a suit or what they think should be a professional. They're handing out resumes that they think that they've done well on. Well, they're missing you. You should be right there in the front. When they're passing all these booths and trying to get these careers and filing for all these jobs and everything, you need to be right there in the center that says, hey, stop here, because I need to teach you how, when you're going here, you're going to actually walk out of the job fair with the job. And a lot of those job fairs do on-the-spot interview, and they hire right then and there. So it would be in your best interest to do a lot of guerrilla marketing if you're going to spend money on marketing, too.
Don't be cheap on the booth.
Yes.
I forgot one thing. In Fort Worth, SHRAM, Southwest Human Resources. It's the largest gathering of human resources people in the U.S., and it's a place you ought to be.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Elliott. I think there is a huge market where you talked about the millennials, but use it as an affiliate. I think you can partner with all the colleges, and especially some of the online colleges, where they are immediately saying, if you come through our college, we will get you a job. You could be that tool for them. And you could do an online assessment. So if somebody is coming in and looking for a job, you should have a really short, where he was saying, when you click on, it should be a real quick assessment. We do health assessments and then sell tools off of it. Why wouldn't you do a quick career assessment that directs them to the tools you sell, that sets them up to get a job? And that way, you sell that to the different colleges and the online, the Kaplans, all of them, and it directly benefits you and them.
Thank you.
Got some on the front row up here.
Peggy. I've been in IT for 35 years. In 2011, I had to offshore over 400 people. It was not easy for me. So I decided to become an expert in helping people find a job. I helped as many people that wanted my help. I used your material. Your material is amazing. The problem was, you drove me crazy with emails.
Okay.
You drove the other people crazy with emails. You didn't do a full life cycle with me. You talked about my immediate need. You were good with that. But you didn't talk to me in a full life cycle. You didn't say, okay, once you get the job, you didn't check on me at 30 days. You didn't say, how you doing? We've got some suggestions for you. You also didn't market to some of my folks that they couldn't spend $97 when they were losing their income. Your one package didn't work for them. I bought it for several of them because I could. So if you had broken that down to smaller with, this is the first thing you should do at $11, $12, whatever it, you could have gotten me in, proved your worth, and taken me down the line. But you didn't do that.
4 easy things.
Exactly. The other thing that you need to do is, I know that there was a corporate organization that was hired, a third party, to help these people that sucked.
It's a tremendous opportunity.
Yes, it sucked. These people got 30 minutes on the phone with a career counselor, and the person didn't care about them at all. I have a ministry now. I help people, especially brilliant developers who can't look somebody in the eye. I sit with them. I coach them. That's my give back. I do it every Sunday for 2 hours. Those folks need you, but they don't. You don't market to them where they understand it because you haven't put anybody up and said, guess what? I did this. I'm that guy, that brilliant guy, but I can't look somebody in the eye. I did this, and these guys helped me. You need testimonies on your site bad so that people can say, this is how it happened. I can do this, and IT's got to be your biggest market, right?
It's one of our top 5.
Yeah.
Can't
You've got to
answer.
have, I'm sorry.
Can't answer.
You've got to have the ability to take that profile and put it in your marketing so that they can see that you can identify me and help me.
I'm Danielle. I'll go by Danny. So my advice would be, especially 35, so I would be one of the people who are looking for work instantaneously. And that goes with Instagram, right? It's instant. It's right there. So I'm looking for more one-on-one coaching. So if I'm paying, maybe 8 months ago, I paid $150 for Monster to do my resume. So I'm looking for what's different about your service, what makes it more personable for me. So let's say, for instance, you offered that $150, but hey, we're going to throw in coaching for 30 minutes. We'll walk you through and make sure that you know how to answer your questions on your interview. So your coaches that are going out for sales, instead of doing these webinars, if, you know, $150 every 30 minutes, you have people paying for you to look at their resume and also coach them. That's a market that my girlfriends and I would pay into. And we have our degrees, but we just don't have time to fix these resumes to get them out there for business. So, and to coach me, make sure I'm saying what I need to say correctly, like you said, psychological. So.
But wait, there's more. Right?
Yeah.
Danny's like, what?
Maury Diamande. I think she'll really think about getting into military installations, particularly their soldier transition programs, because you know all too well, you could have a degree in watching paint dry, but if you interview well, you'll get the job. And a lot of soldiers really need that help. And it's a naturally replenishing market because there are always soldiers getting tired of getting yelled at or running 8 miles when it's 20 degrees outside. So that's I think you should really look at getting into their programs.
Anybody else?
My name is Melinda Cooper. I'm living the dream. I do social media and marketing, but one of the biggest things is that I also do affiliate marketing. It's one of my big revenues. One of the things that I notice is that you said that when you open your affiliate marketing, you give them 35%. I have a company that I do, it's one of my clients, and they give me 35%, and then they give me a tracker so that if they do go back for more, because there is more, right? Okay. When they go back for more, I get a piece of that action as well. So I don't have to worry about constantly re-hitting, right? I put them into their funnels. I'm driving traffic. I'm generating. But I know that they're going to go back in, and I don't have to constantly go back and say, did you pay me for that? So you might consider adding that as your affiliate process.
I do have one more thing to add. So have you guys thought about apps?
You can't ask questions.
Oh, so I would suggest apps too, right? Mobile apps on the go. So like I wear like on a business meeting, I'm traveling. So if I'm traveling or whatever it is that I'm doing, I have access to you immediately at my fingertips. So apps to just go in and do what I need to do quickly would be what I want.
One other thing, this was an experience I had with a millennial. I do executive coaching, and he said, my friends and I searched to see if you were certified, because we're not going to use any coaches that aren't certified. And he said, I'm glad I found you were certified. And that just came to my mind. It's a bellwether for a lot of other people. So just a comment. They are checking.
Yeah, right, Elliot. Just simple thing from what you were talking about earlier about the quantitative. How many people have you helped? Well, one thing that I think that you need is, those numbers, but also put information out there about where you have helped place people, because that will carry a lot of weight with people. Also say, oh, you place people with Toyota, you place people with Southwest Airlines, you place people with XYZ company that's recognized across the nation. I want a job there. If you can say that you've helped people get jobs in those places, that'll carry a lot of weight with a lot of people.
Hi, my name is Whitney, and just bouncing off of that as a millennial, the only idea that popped into my mind was, I'm sure we've all heard of care.com, right? Where any nanny, babysitter, or whatever can put their profile up. What if you had something where your people who are purchasing what you're selling, just like that, can have a profile, says what job they're looking for, but then it can show if they successfully got that job.
All the way from Russia.
All right.
Yes, I'm back. Alex Pamelnikov, Worldpreneur. So I have 3 things to comment on. First thing is I did not really understand your business plan. I've been working for a lot of investment bankers, and I helped a lot of billionaires from Russia. So first thing is business plan. I did not really see that. Second thing is I don't really see what business you're in. Have you seen the movie Founder about McDonald's? When they say, you know, what business McDonald's is in? That's what I want to really understand. What you are trying to do here. Are you trying to build an internet business, or are you trying to build a company that is going to serve people? You know, that's very important. I did not see the mission of the company. Going back to the panelists here about branding, mission is very important. It's actually number 1 thing. So another suggestion that I would give is to get a mentor or to give a coach or business strategies that will guide you guys to where you want to be.
Hello. My name is Eric Luneborg, and I've never had a job. So work. Hello. But I do evaluate businesses and investment opportunities all the time, and that's what I do for a living. I'm a real estate investor, so I'm constantly looking and crunching numbers, big numbers, and your evaluation is off. I don't even know where $2.4 million came from. And if I ever saw that number from a person that's asking me to invest in that, where did that number come from? Not knowing your NOI was kind of a critical question mark that I had. That number needed to roll off your mouth faster than your debt. You needed to know that number. I needed to know if that $70,000 debt was personal, if it was corporate debt, who holds that debt. That's pretty important. I'm not looking at your numbers, but just listening to this, I see that you need to ask for about $400,000. I don't think you're going to need any more than that. Thanks.
Last question. Any other questions?
Okay, you have 2 minutes to say from any of the advice you got, whatever you want to say.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you. It's a pleasure, and there's not very many times in your life that you can sit in front of a lot of people and get this kind of feedback. So I appreciate it. And I enjoyed last month, and I've enjoyed this as well. Right? So that's number 1. Number 2, when you talked about the 4% and the 96%, those 4 products we've been laser focused on. When we were less focused, remember when I said, hey, maybe we were a little scattered, we created all these other products. They're very good, and there's a lot of opportunities for those. The millennial market, we have a webinar called the New Grad webinar. Our problem with that is, again, psychologically, we haven't sold to that market as much, so I don't have that avatar just right of that person. But we do have a lot of millennials as customers. In fact, we sometimes will have fathers or grandfathers call us up and say, look, he's never going to be able to get a job unless you help him. So I'm buying the coaching, you got to fix it, right? So that's my response on the millennial. No question, there's a lot of opportunities. I mean, that's why I'm so excited about the business, because there are so many different ways that you can go with it. Executive, millennials, females, there's so many ways that you can segment it. No question, probably need to be sharper on the numbers. Must tell you that with the changes that we've had in the last 4 weeks, I probably wouldn't do a deal with anyone right now anyway. So because it's changing very rapidly. I feel as if I'm in a whole new business after this last month, and I've really enjoyed the growth that we've seen so far, and I'm excited about that. I think a lot of these are, without a doubt, very, very good suggestions. On the military piece, we have a product called the Mission Transition, and anytime a veteran buys any of our products, we upgrade them to that as a personal thank you for your service to our country, and tell us if there's anything you need. And I've worked with Wounded Warriors a little bit to provide help for them, and I've been looking into, I'd like to give away about 1,000 of those mission transitions, which are a total complete package for the military persons. There's no question their offices aren't doing the job that they should do. The career counseling aren't doing a good job, but maybe that affiliate thing with certainly the online colleges, that has a lot of opportunity. So I mean, there's a lot of great ideas, and I really much appreciate it. No question, got to tighten up on the numbers and understanding it, but very much appreciate the opportunity to present with you tonight.
Absolutely. So I think what I learned was we got to rock Instagram. And
Yes.
we got to rock the affiliate program.
Yes.
And these are things that we've already spoken about. But while we're not busy, we're incredibly busy. Peggy's always on the phone. She doesn't have time to go out and do business development. I just do 1 or 2 clients a week as I work it in because I'm not salaried. All of these, I was doing a lot of head nodding and a lot of agreeing. Just don't have the resources to do it. I would love to do it full time. We would love to bring on. We need a CFO.
Yeah,
Clearly,
clearly.
we need a CFO, and I think that there's some steps we can do to find the right business strategist for sure. But with a few simple changes first, let's grow some revenue, and let's dig in deeper.
Yeah.
Give them a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Just out of curiosity, how many people in here have a business that's doing over $500,000 a year now? Raise your hand. How many of you have a business that's doing over $2 million a year? Raise your hand. So very, very few hands at this point. What I'd really like to say here is not many startup businesses succeed. It's a very small percentage, and I want to give you, Peggy, a really big round of applause because you have, on a bootstrap, gotten up to $600,000 in revenue. You have a very successful business. The key, I believe, in getting beyond that startup is doing what you just did. Getting the information out of a group, getting a mastermind to talk about your business. You got a lot of valuable information out of the panelists and the audience. It's filmed. Go back and review it. I've been involved in a CEO club for 20 years. It's very lonely at the top. You need people to be able to hang around, and that's part of what this is to me, is it's about creating those relationships. We did super PACs, and in our PACs, I guess, Marco, are you still here, or did you leave? Marco left, I guess. In these PACs, we would get together, and each time it would be somebody else's turn. So when it's my turn, I have the day, essentially, to tell everybody my business, answer their questions. So it was this in a spread out, because it's me all day long. And we filmed all of the advice, and kind of the joke was at the end of a mastermind is that you probably listen to 10% of it, but that's also what's kind of holding you back. You got a lot of really good information out of here. I think you have a heck of a business. I'm interested. Got to work through the valuations and all to make it make sense, and I'm happy to do that with you. And I got a lot of additional ideas I think we could do in a smaller mastermind that would be very beneficial to you and not cost you anything. So I'm glad you're getting value out of the boardroom. That's what this is about. If you go pitch to a typical angel investor group, they're not going to give you this advice. They're going to hear what you say, and they're going to go yes or no. And if they say no, you're not going to get another chance. They're not going to tell you how to fix the problem. And you got a wealth of information out of this on how to fix the problems because we're all forgiving. You know, you haven't lost any of us. We gave you advice, and I think if you use some of that, you can really grow your business. I'm really interested, and I'm proud of you. I think you've done a fantastic job. So just following up again, on the 19th of October is our next boardroom. I do not believe that we have you're the presenter next time, aren't you? So I'm about to say we didn't have one yet, but I already told her she's the next presenter. So Kristen will be coming in and presenting on October 19th. 2 days after that is the Night of Superstars. Hope to see you all here. If you have not got my book yet, you know, I would disappoint Tammy if I didn't push the book one more time. Since she's here, I got to make sure I push the book one more time. So if you haven't bought the book yet, get the book, please. I'll sign it for you. And also, if you're interested in our November Ignite the Secret all-day seminar with a firewalk, get with Amber, Denise, or Joan, or David, or any of the people that have done the advanced firewalking with us. So get with them. Love to have you here. It's a fantastic experience. You'll get clear on what your goals are, what you want to do, and get that opportunity to storm across a bed of 1,500-degree coals too. Stick around, network. Kevin was asking if he could ask more questions. He has more on his mind. And I said, yes, you can ask all you want once we're done, and you can go ask those one-on-one. I love the passion all of you guys had. Thank you very much. A lot of good information in the audience. So thank you for coming to the boardroom. See you on October 19th.